A very good evening, Xoli. Indeed, we're here in Phoenix, and one will know and remember that despite other parts of this province also being ravaged by that civil unrest, it was in Phoenix where a lot of attention was paid, in particular when it came to the issues of racial undertones underpinning the violence in this area, and the reconciliation efforts are still continuing, isn't it, Shah Maharaj, from the Ubuntu Peace Committee? And I guess the first question to ask here is that how far are you in terms of reconciling both the Indian and African communities? Because there's still a sense from the Africans living in nearby areas such as Bambai, Zwelisha, Amawoti, that they need an apology and acknowledgement from the Indian community with regards to what happened to their loved ones.
Yes, thank you very much. It's 1 year on now. I've said before, we've stayed in Phoenix side by side with the community from Bambai and Zwelisha, and we built a solid foundation for good relations for 40 years. And it took 1 week. It took 1 week during the riots to destroy what we've had, which we all felt was so precious. And as soon as the riots was over, we started our campaign to look at how we can mend the bridges, how can we build bridges again. And so we had a whole lot of projects which we've started on. The first was a very nice soccer tournament. We brought people from KwaZulu and Inanda and Phoenix and everywhere else, and we've had quite a nice tournament. Now we've made this an annual event, and the next month we're going to have the second time round after the July riots happen. It's going to be the second one. In addition, we are using all platforms. So as an example, 2 weeks ago we've had June 16th here. We've had 20 people from Bambai, young people, youth, from KwaZulu, from Inanda, from Phoenix and everywhere else, together to look at how as young people we can help to build a brighter future for everybody.
But that's not quite an apology, isn't it? Because I've spoken to some of the families who've lost loved ones. I know there were 3 from the Indian community who lost loved ones, but the majority of those who lost their lives in Phoenix were African or black. So, you know, what can be done to immediately deal then with the anger that is still existing in this community, not only from, you know, black people, but also from the Indians too?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have taken this by the horns. We've taken the bull by the horns. The Department of Justice was here. Deputy Minister was here in Phoenix, and we've led a delegation from Phoenix to Amauti, together with the Department of Justice, which campaign they have started to talk about restorative justice. We've been there with the families, we've prayed together, we've spoken together, and we've said what happened in Phoenix was a tragedy. Those people who have been implicated in violence must be brought to court, charged, and if found guilty, they must face the consequences. But the law must take its course. As a community here, we believe that all the Phoenix people shouldn't be blamed for this year. Those people who have been responsible must be brought to book. And as we sit now 1 year on, not too much has happened in prosecuting those people. I mean, just one person, I think, is in court now. The rest of the people are being charged for GBV, they're being charged for common assault and so on. But those other people have died. Where have they gone to? I mean, who has been charged for their murders? There's just one. So the justice system is grinding very, very slowly here. But we have gone into Inanda, notwithstanding the fact that there is anger and so on. And we've met the families. We've spoken to the families. We've prayed with them. And they've accepted the fact that, look, you have come to us. We didn't come to you. We've taken food parcels. We've taken to the church a program to look at how people can grow their own vegetables in terms of sustaining themselves.
And as the wheels of justice take time to turn, isn't there a risk then, from your assessments perhaps, that this could make the situation worse as you're going about these programs, but for the families who've lost their loved ones senselessly, shot in the back while coming back from a soccer match, shot in the back while on their return home? I mean, these are just some of the stories that have unfolded, and still, as you've just mentioned, no murder arrests or convictions on the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's really grinding very, very slow, and I think it's a huge frustration for everybody. We want to see justice on Phoenix also. The people from the community from Bambai and so on want to see justice. It's up to the state. We cannot now convict somebody without a court case. It's up to the state. But notwithstanding that, we have identified people from Bombay, who are leaders from Bombay and KwaZulu and so on. And together with them, because they have the backing of people from Bombay and KwaZulu, and together with them, we are running these projects to look at how best we can bring about reconciliation. The message we are giving to everybody is that nobody is going anywhere. We are here as one community, one country, as one nation. As Mandela said, build a rainbow nation. And that's what we are doing. Now, to commemorate Mandela's 18th of this year here, we've got a huge program in Phoenix, which we have said, let's come together again, because we cannot just have one project and we believe everything is okay. We're going to have to work week by week, month by month, year by year to make sure we come to what we have before July of 2021. Mending fences, bringing communities together and working together as one nation. And that's what the whole world wants to see happen here.
Very quickly, how real is the fear of a possible resurgence of what we saw last year? Is that something that the community here is worried about, or so far is it stable?
Well, I think everybody is worried about what might happen on Tuesday of next week, which is the 12th. But I think the intelligence services and the police and so on are now much more waked up than they were last time. We are hoping that if any threat happens, the security forces will be there to make sure everything is stable. But the threat will always be there. I mean, there has been issues of poverty which had mounted a lot of poor people to go and take things, and loot and what have you. We are hoping that the situation is under control right now. And as long as there is poverty, as long as there's unemployment, and as long as there is hunger, poor people look for something to take. Not their fault, they are unemployed, and the economy in this country needs to grow and to create jobs. That is the only way for us to look at how best we can bring stability to bear in all our communities.
That's Sham Maharaj. He's from the Phoenix Ubuntu Peace Committee. It's one of the committees working here in Phoenix to try and bring about reconciliation between the Indian and black communities. Lots of work still needs to be done. An acknowledgement then that, that work cannot just come about through one project. It needs to be continuous, through the weeks and the months to come. And as they await, the reports from the Human Rights Commission, for an example, which was looking into what happened in places such as Phoenix, the wheels of justice are still turning far too slow for the community's liking. Kathy?
All right, and of course you can expect plenty more coverage from our team throughout the week as we look back at different aspects of the July unrest a year on.